Well, that fucking sucked. There's no other way to put it other than that sucked. Staying up this late to watch that end the way that it did. I don't know where the frustration is the most from this game because where do you begin, honestly? Do you begin at Frankie Montas being horrible? Do you begin at Waskar Brazaban not covering first base on a ground ball? Do you get mad at Gregory Soto, who doesn't take his time to make a routine throw over to second base? Do you get mad at Gregory Soto not executing his pitch ahead in the count to Diaz? Do you get mad at Brandon Nimmo playing deep on the fly ball from Diaz? Do you get mad at the umpire who was a complete and utter jerk off and made the show about himself? Do you get mad at the offense that showed up for one inning outside of sprinkling in a few runs here and there, and that's about it? Where do you direct the anger most at? I don't know. Personally, I don't know. But this was the most frustrating game of the entire season, to be honest with you. And sure, maybe that's knee-jerk reaction to it just happening, but just every little thing about this game as it was unfolding just pissed me off. Watching Tatis go out there and snag the ball there, which would have been a two-run shot there for Vientos, who ultimately ended up hitting a grand slam, though, his next at bat. But you have that. Meanwhile, the Mets pitchers, they can't make basic plays in the field. Brandon Nimmo's out there playing deep on Elias Diaz. And not only that, looking slow getting to that ball, which is an underrated part of that play, I feel like. I'm glad though, you know, the only positive that I have, I guess two positives. The only positives I have are that Vientos had another good day. I don't know if that means anything going forward because I don't know if he's going to be here or not going forward. The other positive to go along with that is Ronnie Mauricio yet again hitting a timely home run and once again hitting off of one of the better closers in all of Major League Baseball that also only allowed one home run on the season up to that point. And the only other positive, I was happy to see Mendoza get out of that dugout and get in the face of the umpire. Quite frankly, I wish he spit in his face a little bit more because that was completely bullshit. And then that at bat there, where he sat him down on that high pitch. And what was it? The seventh inning? Talk about making the show about yourself. And the umpire stared down Soto. He knew what he was doing. I freaking hope this jerk off is happy that he's getting replaced by the ABS system. You wonder why? Because it's moments like that, you dumbass. Hope you're going to be happy when your salary decreases or you're out of a job. And I rarely get pissed with umps here, but that guy was a freaking jerk off. But it's not just about that. Because at the end of the day, Frankie Montas needs to give you just some sort of volume. I mean, this is what's so frustrating right now. Is you have, and I hate that I've been saying it for weeks on end now, and I sound like a broken record because of it. You have one guy that is capable of giving you volume in this rotation right now. You have another guy who's ramping up to maybe get to that point. But outside of that, you have one guy who's giving you volume. Frankie Montas, though, going out there, 70 pitches by the third inning. Done. in the 5th inning. Just so frustrating watching him go out there and pitch. Because even the days where he does work well, it's just like he's like every inning of a start, it feels like he's just in a jam. Like that, it just doesn't have clean innings. It feels like outside of the 4th today, I guess. Whoop de doo. But then Brazoban comes in, like I said, and he doesn't execute. I don't blame Gibson for putting in Brazoban there because what were your options? You weren't going to Gregory Soto in the 5th inning. You weren't going to Brooks Raley in the 5th inning. Brazoban should be more than capable of getting out Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth, Bryce Johnson, Elias Diaz. Like, I don't think we were asking the world here from Brazoban. I think we were just simply asking him to go cover first base. I think that's fairly simple. And then I don't understand why he was still in the game for as long as he was. Credit to Rico Garcia, though, for getting outs for this team. It sucks because he's going to get DFA'd at some point. When, I mean, he's just been consistently going out there, giving 2 innings, getting the outs. And it sucks because I freaking just went ballistic when Ronnie Mauricio hit that home run to tie the game up. And I thought, they're winning this game. I thought there's no way they're losing this game with that moment happening. And then Gregory Soto comes in and has other plans. I mean, I just don't understand how you don't take your time to throw the ball over to second base there. And how you're that inaccurate nonetheless. And then you throw a sinker middle when you're ahead in the count 1-2. Horrible. What else is horrible is I mean, again, runners in scoring position and like when is the top of the order going to start participating with producing with runners in scoring position? When is that going to happen? Anybody got an answer? Because you got a fat 0-4 from Soto and Alonso. Granted, the ump really screwed Soto over a lot, but Nimmo Lindor sat down 3 times on strikeouts. When are those guys going to start producing with runners in scoring position? Because it's great that they had the win streak they did. That's awesome. But the thing that was frustrating me throughout that win streak is when were the top guys going to step up? And they did in the last game of that Angels series. They did in the last game of the Giants series. Where were they tonight? Where the hell were they tonight? Because you got Ronnie Mauricio and Mark Vientos bailing your asses out. Where are they? Such a frustrating game. Such a frustrating game that was right in their grasp. There's never a fun way for a win streak to end, but this one made my blood boil, truthfully. I know it's July. I know it's August in the grand scheme of things. Is this game going to matter? I don't know. I guess unless it comes down to the division or the top seed, whatever it may be, or getting the bye. most importantly. Maybe it will come down to that. But all I could say is that in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not going to matter. But just made my blood freaking boil. Because that's a game you should have won. But freaking Luis Arias hitting a home run too. I didn't even get into that part being frustrating to me. Luis Arias. Dude always is hitting a home run against the Mets, it feels like. So frustrating. But either way. Um I don't even know who the Padres are going to use tomorrow to pitch. I don't know if they announced that, but at least if it went to extras too, like I could have said, you know what, you got Suarez to go for 2 innings, which helps you for tomorrow as well. They couldn't even do that. Yeah, the Padres still haven't announced who's going tomorrow. Bounce back. Bounce back. Very frustrating. Robert, normally I'm with you about blaming um the manager and blaming bullpen management. I don't know what you wanted them to do tonight. I really don't know what you wanted them to do tonight. Okay, go to a lefty instead of Brosabon. They weren't going to Soto that early. They weren't going to Rayleigh that early. Who'd you want them to go to? And normally I'd agree, but I can't get behind that comment. There was no one to go to tonight other than Brosabon in that spot or Garcia earlier. That's the only other argument you could have made. And sure, I mean, does Rico Garcia work out of that? I mean, he probably covers first base at least. I guess that's all you could say, but I don't blame Gibson or Mendoza for Brosabon not covering first base. That's something that you're taught in Little League. Umpire was a joke. Pitching was dog shit. Uh that's an understatement. They were horrible, though. Frankie Montas is just so frustrating to watch. It's just a tough watch when he goes out there. That's unfortunate because I talked myself into it being a better signing than it was, but no. I mean, there's a reason this guy doesn't stick in any destinations. I mean, come on. There's a reason a team like the Reds had him last year, and there's a reason the Brewers didn't care to keep him around. Not that they spend money, but you get the point. Like, there's a reason the Mets were listed as, or it was said that they jumped the market to get him at that point. He's not good. Umpire needs to get his ego in check. Made the game completely about himself. That umpire was such a clown. Got his feelings that hurt. Got his feelings that hurt by a future Hall of Famer. And then what is he? Fucking loser. Yeah, I'd love for them to take a look at this. And I can't wait to see the scorecard too tomorrow for him. Large portion of this loss was on the pitching. Even if the Mets offense was wildly inconsistent, they put up 6 runs and should be winning these type of games. I agree with both standpoints. I think there's a fair argument for both things that you need to be kept in the game way more by your pitching. But also at the same time, you need to win games because of your offense sometimes. And, as much as I'm ripping on the pitching right now, they've bailed this offense out a lot this season. Sometimes they need to step up, and the top guys, they didn't show up. It drives me insane, Brian. And I say the same thing. Yeah. I mean, this is true too, that they can't let this unravel on them. They have to bounce back. I have to disagree with this one because, like, I'm sorry, but Brazaban was all over the place out there. He was all over the place outside of that, just with his command. And Montas, I mean, once this guy has to go through the order the third time, it's done his outing. Montas is dumb once he has to face the order the third time. Him, Holmes, more so Montas, but sad that this is even a comment. Sad that that's even somewhat fair of an argument. I don't know. I thought his command was all over the place still too. That was my problem. Like that, especially, I don't understand how he was still facing Tatis in that spot, and then his command during that one was very frustrating. Yeah. We'll implement a salary cap, but we're not gonna hold the umpires accountable for clearly having some bullshit going on. Stupid. Like the way that he eyed Soto after he punched him out pissed me the hell off more than anything. That's what pissed me off the most. He knew what the fuck he was doing there. But not surprised. All right. I'm going to wrap things up here. It's late at night. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe. Turn on your notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one.